Thank you very much indeed, James. Yes, Down One Gaming have set the standard for this C versus D lobby. Now everybody else has to understand the lay of the land and how this one could potentially go down. Remember, this is the group stage, and still the normal PUBG sports rules will be in effect. Will we see any changes? Will we see any adaptations? We are on a lower flight path this time as opposed to south. All the way to the north, we start in the west and go east. So, a much more southern flight path, Toby. We'd have to anticipate a more southern circle.
Yeah, Gen.G as well opting to stay together this time around. I must say, last game, surprised to see them not necessarily being allowed to, but daring to try and take control of both Las Leones and Chumacera. Whether they have had success with that, maybe in some scrims we haven't had to see, or not, daring to do that in the very first game of a tournament where you can't be guaranteed what teams are going to happen. I'm glad to see they aren't trying to do that anymore, and now all of them are back in Las Leones.
Not necessarily too any kind of sign of a hot drop, so to speak. Everyone's been a bit more precautious compared to previous. We did see one in the initial groups this morning. Yeah, it's whether or not it's been too late. Both of them put their eyes on the prize of the second that this circle updated. Good move from Mens to be able to put two out, but LG had already read it like a book. First nade comes down, puts them back in the hut. You can see Gen.G in the distance are just lurking, so you have to be careful now. If you've copped one of those vehicles, you know that this is one hot position, a bit of hot territory. The rest of LG Divine finally make it towards the door. Levi's finds Tixu with an absolute worldie of a grenade. First player goes down. Now they can start to make a progressive push through the building. And the worst thing is that he's outside. If you force them to move outside and try and hit the res, that's when you can capitalize. They've gone for the 2-2 split, but unfortunately for Ens, they're inside the doors. The Wolves are here, and they are trying to knock this one down. Whether or not you can actually get that res, I personally think it'd be a little bit too sketchy, especially when you've got other teams that are lingering on the outskirts. To get it would be fantastic, but it is... okay, all right, they make it to the door with the vehicle around it, using the smokes as well, so fair play to Ens, but it was a time for Divine to maybe try and capitalize upon.
I mean, you say they can push, I say you have to push, let alone the fact this is one of the prime compounds in the circle. This is the third-party haven. If you don't finish the fight, reset, get ready for the fights to come really damn fast, you will get third-partied. Oh no! Before when we see it again, DA holding off Liquid. We talked about it coming into it. It took a few more circles than expected, but it happened once more. Liquid out in 16th yet again, and maybe you've cursed them early on in the day. You said you wanted to see them step up as they failed to do so in the previous PGI tournament, and here 2 games in, back-to-back 16th places.
There's a lot going on, so I don't want to kind of distract from it at the moment, but the mental effect of that is going to come into play now. They need all the mental fortitude in the world to be able to get through the next 2 games on Erangel. 2 16th places back-to-back. They are locked into a corner, and it looks like Petrichor just let them go for now, give them that false sense of security, and really get a position on them. It will be hard given how exposed they are going to be. Should they go further out into the field, then it becomes that much more difficult. Gems finds Ling Du, down he goes, but there is an answer back from Lin Shun up on top. At least answer back onto AAA and put them all but a sub, I say down to a res, but instead it cannot come through. The instant confirmation is there. Ikeslef finds Batulins. Gustav, a different fight altogether, going down. Orth and FaZe Clan. FaZe has found them in this huge warehouse, and you do still have that Tianbam and MCG fight going off in the distance. Keep an eye on it. One of the teams should be going out rather shortly. The rest of FaZe Clan, all 3 players committed to a vehicle. This is a full 4-man push. Gustav, first one to fall. FaZe have to be quick on this, Toby, because if they get caught off guard, they'll get capitalized upon.
Yep, Gustav flushed immediately. Ming's able to find the kill there. Let's see how Oath are able to hold off here against FaZe Clan, trying to, well, get one of the very few compounds available in this circle. First FaZe down to low HP. 8C tag from afar as well. Patcaps is trying to stay put, and Relo is the one up close here, getting the angle on towards one, but Uba is there to find him. First one goes down. This should have a complete and utter effect on how this one is going to unfold. Patcaps trying to utilize the smoke, sit tight behind, but I'm not sure how much longer that smoke is going to last. And that cover is going to be gone in a short moment.
Forced to use the med kit. Try and top himself up, which suggests that he doesn't have also the pills or the drinks to be able to get the heal over time on. Finds the angle onto Fuzzface. You'll see the mollies come in, and the floor is absolute lava right now. He's burning behind the box, and this is the time for them to move. VP in the kill feed. A knock onto Ixlef, but one will return back on the side of it. Ixlef will be actually taken down as well, but so is Mile. Balefrost now onto Uber. Fuzzface in a one-on-one scenario with the box has to rub it round, but you'll see both of them. The flashbangs come through. He is just firing blind into the metal. They have no idea where they are because of the flashbangs coming out. Thankfully, Snickers goes down on the side. Nice lean coming out of 80. 1-2, thank you. Time to mop up, but all of a sudden it's a 1 versus 1. How has it come to be? How are we in this position? Flashbang goes over the vehicle. Who'll be winning this one out? Patcaps comes back for a vengeance. His hands are in the air. He just doesn't care. He's no idea where it is. Fighting around the box. It's Patcaps. Wins it out. FaZe Clan goes down. 13th position.
Hirosen comes in with the hero play, saving Oath in that situation, not really making it any better for them. They still have a run to make, and I'm not sure Patcaps is going to be alive in 30 seconds from now. Let's see, back towards the fights that started off the Chaos, Ends, and Divine. Somehow they have allowed each other to stay alive in the compound. The fight was held off, and no kills have come in so far. It's still a 4v4. They opted to say, you know what, I'll greet my neighbor with a little bit of a truce. But the fight will have to come eventually. Half the compound is out of the next circle, and it's on Divine to make the push forward.
It's kind of wild how open and exposed those hangars can be, even if you think you're inside a compound. Like, just the front of it in itself is just so open. Oh my god! A nade from the gods finds its target, and Mamu just gets just completely obliterated from nowhere.
We're in phase 5, and Tianba has 12 kills so far. Let's hold that thought, though. As you thought there could be more teams in here, sure there can. Alo comes, says hello, but so does Jun. Immediate knock in return, holding them off at least for now. Now there's 3 teams here. Look at DA. They're looking in this direction, too. The cluster is about to unfold. Uncivil finds Jun in return. We still have Ends on the backside. They haven't opted to push in on this one just yet. They've seen a knock on each side. They know there's one more team in the compound. I just think it's going to be too chaotic to make that aggressive push forward. It means that Patcaps is trying to find somewhere to go. And somehow he's actually making it, at least for now.
You have 2 fights going on at the moment. DXG are holding off infantry on the outskirts over by the road that pretty much comes in from far south. STK making a full-blown push. Bit of a swap maneuver, but doesn't unfortunately come through for Uncivil. Patcaps finally goes down. Also eliminated. 11 position for now. Luke 12 trying to step up to the plate. We have put this man on a pedestal before and shown him when the times are hard, he can really step up to it. With a nice lean on the left-hand side, it will take down one through the window. Makes things a little bit easier. But unfortunately, his teammates are falling around him. Alo needs to get the heal. They've lost 2 already. But this only pays off for Ents. They're letting these 2 teams just batter the living hell out of one another. Don't get me wrong, STK had absolutely nowhere else to go. Nice cheeky lean comes through, but unfortunately, STK is down and out. Is this the time that you would see Ents capitalize? Is it the time to go? Of course it is. They're broken, they're bent. Finish them off and secure the position for now.
I like the patience from Ends. They knew there would have to be a fight escalating on the south side before they would have to interfere. And I gotta put it on Divine here. They had the chance to make the push early when you said so, Sims. They didn't, and they paid the price for it, barely making their way inside of placement points. Just one with, and I believe only 1 or 2 kills in that game too. Could have been a lot more had they opted to take the fight to Ends early and been ready for a SDK push later on in the game. But that's not to be. And now Ends, the one surviving that one, we'll see if they can make the surviving push out of the compound as well. It's looking grim, but there's a chance they might get out of here alive.
And still try and keep themselves as close. Oh, I didn't realize Lou was there. Oh, no, no, no. What are you going to do? You've only got 1 person alive. I mean, you have to wait. If you've got a good nade, time it perfectly. If not, I can see the molly being cycled, so we need to go into his POV. If he lands this and then could just mop up instantly on the gun. Nope, the game has been given away. 1, 2, thank you. At least tags them all. They're all very weak. He could do something here, not to be. They will have to go and just try and get as many meds as they can. They'll try and stick the res to avoid the point. Nope, it's been denied. Just run away from it. Leave it as it is. DXG, it's the old PUBG style. Heal away and see how long you can actually survive for. See if you can outlive Ends, because this is going to be the next on the chopping block, unfortunately, as they just dive bomb head first into Gen.G. There's nowhere else to go. The Finns full-blown send it. And Rustam, well, he's just like, well, boys, it's been nice knowing you for now. I'll stay here. And they actually outlived Division X.
Well, there you go. Keep one behind. Get those placement points guaranteed and secure yourself a top 5 spot. Rustam able to stay put. And I mean, that's when you know there's no. Oh my lord, these circles just keep getting worse and worse. We're playing all the way into the open now. Gen.G. I don't think a team has really fired a bullet at them yet. They've been sitting tight in this compound for the longest time, and now let's see DA, the first team to potentially take the fight to them, have a chance to do so right here. They're slowly making their way forward through these small houses here, and well, I mean, Gen.G ain't planning on leaving anytime soon, so we'll see how other teams can interfere. Tian, but still with the high ground advantage, taking shots down towards DA, but they're well aware they have a team on the other side too. Damwon, winners of last game once again. Such smart play from them. It's been a more passive game on the Damwon side this time around, but that just goes to show and proves my point from before. They're as scary in their passive play and rotations as they are when it comes to aggression. That's the thing. When you have a team that can do both and do both that well, and you can never really plan on, okay, they got to do this because that's their strong side, that's scary. Two completely different games from Damwon, and despite that, they're sitting in top 5 once more.
I mean, they've got a tiny bit of time to play with, not much, because eventually all the rest of the rosters will be coming down. The last team being Tianban, all the way up on that hillside. They have to make something happen. Seongjan will extend out towards the blue a little bit, just to try and strangulate them. Because all of a sudden, Tianban has to remove itself from its secure position because the blue's here. KO's gone and found themselves a bit of a position. It's not too much. Again, you spoke about how Gen.G's been quite stationary this game. If we think about it, that would also suggest that they have all their utility and all their arms ready to rock and roll. If they're across the road from them, once they've set up shop, all Gen.G needs to do is just let the bombardment begin. Throw every single bit of utility you have towards Damwon, and that should be GG. But still, before they get there, they have to deal with DA. I can see Inonix and Pio, two players that scare the living bats of hell out of me, staring down the barrel towards DA. Smash is getting closer, and they know they have to try and take this compound because the one they're in, it's out of the blue. It's in the danger zone. It's the place they don't want to be. If they can make it to the next building, then maybe, just maybe, there's a chance. Pio shows his shoulder, now has to fall back. The molly will go down, try and catch him. It actually does stop the overpeak, so I'm totally fine with that. But look at Loki, look at Esther. They're starting to wrap. Loki's repositioned more towards the closer compound to try and deny that front angle onto DA's movement.
Regardless of what happens here, Damwon has played it perfectly. They're setting up for a perfect third-party position here. No matter where the next circle goes, it is going to end on their side of the road too, just feeding it even better to them. DA and Gen.G will have to take this fight unless if something completely absurd happens. And you can see Damwon ain't fussed about it. They're just sitting back. They're waiting for them to make the push on forward. In just a short moment's time, we'll see Turkey versus Korea. And I could not, from this position right now, tell you who's going to get out on top. Only thing I know is, by the end of it, it's probably going to be a back-to-back Damwon win.
I think it's good they're utilizing this. They're not getting stuck in for the third part. They're actually using it to get themselves a better position. Inonix and Pio strike. Smash and Mert hit the deck. The first two go down, and all of a sudden the match is halted. Mac, oh dear. Okay, now they're starting to get overzealous. Now Damwon is moving in for the kill. The creep and peep has begun. Pio clearly knows exactly what's going down. The smokes are there to try and deny vision. I'm totally fine with that. Throw it at your enemy and try and blind them. But unfortunately for them, they don't realize Damwon has been actually very, very smart in this. They've gone early, laid out on the road. They are ready to receive this in its full vision. Like, this is so smart. They had a really bad position, I suppose, maybe a circle or two ago, but they've used it to their advantage. They've realized what's going on with the teams across the road, and they've just abused that.
This is insane. I mean, they didn't get the knocks they wanted. They saw 2 knocks. They thought that was going to be the fight starting. They push forward. They say, okay, no, they're not fighting. We'll pull back. Now they are fighting, and now Damwon is probably going to engage as well. Yes, they are. Gen.G slaughters. DA nowhere for them to go. 4 kills in the matter of seconds. And now, up over the hill they come. Let's see if they can do something against their countrymen from Korea. 7 kills already for Gen.G in this game, trying to get the win here in game number 2 of Group C and D. Kale prone on the road, could be a spring chap just waiting for Loki to peek on over. Are they expecting it or are they not? I'm not sure, but they will have to account for absolutely everything, knowing it's a 4v4 in the end of it.
I think for Kale is he needs to hit that shot. Once he opens up, his position's given away.
Yes.
and there's literally no hard cover. So whoever he goes for, he has to make these bullets count, because if they don't, oh my god, that's a belter of a nade with very little health. Esther will finally fall. The second one as well. Thank you very much. 1-2, job done. Now it's time to push. Rally the troops and everyone else can try and flock to your defense. Pio is just cresting to try and do what he can to hold the line, but all of a sudden they are just collapsing like a huge wave. But Indigo has been seeded down. Iononyx does find one, so there is the answer back here. Pio again, they're battering them. All of a sudden they've just decided to show up at the wrong time, and Pio has answered back. Iononyx is there as well. Kale's position, we said on the road, it was exposed, and now it comes down to one. What have Gen.G done? They have broken this apart.
Oh, this is insane. This is absolutely no. There's no way in hell you're getting that res on Yang. Did you maybe, in fact, just give them the complete info of where Son Yang was? Getting the res up. They ain't fussed about it. 3v1. I thought that one had this in the books. Getting the vehicle over on the other side of the road. Get that off-angle position. Even if it's a bait or not, we don't care. We're going to make the push. Here comes the drive-by. Iononyx gets the kill, and somehow Gen.G gets out of the compound, gets an 11-kill chicken dinner off of that one, too.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, no die from last time. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn.